Inside these containers are a very important computer chip called the H20. It was designed by a company called Nvidia in the US, manufactured in Taiwan, then sold to tech companies in China. In 2025, China was set to get around 1.3 million H20s when suddenly US President Donald Trump blocked them. Why? Because the H20 powers artificial intelligence. And right now, the US and China are locked in an all-out race to dominate artificial intelligence. Whoever wins could gain a stronger economy and a stronger military than the other. Trump wasn't going to help China get those advantages. But 3 months later, Trump had dinner with Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang. And just days later, Nvidia announced
that it will resume sales of its advanced H20 chips into China.
Nvidia's H20 chips, once banned in China, they will be back in play. Jensen Huang played both Washington and Beijing, and he won.
Trump's U-turn on AI chips is shocking.
If there was anything that you'd think people could agree on, it would be that the most advanced AI technology does not go to China.
And it could have huge consequences.
It is very plausible that if we get this policy wrong, China could be overtaking the United States.
So why did Trump change his mind on Nvidia chips? And what happens when China gets them?
And away they go.
Let's imagine the AI race is like a car race. The US and China are each building the best AI or race car they can. They're funding AI research, constructing data centers, and supporting AI companies. At this point, China's car may actually be the faster one. But a race car is only as good as its engine, and an AI's engine is the computer chip. It's a tiny slice of silicon packed with billions of transistors that turn electric signals on and off. Bundle hundreds of thousands of chips together, and you've got the computing power to train and run AI models. China's chip makers like Huawei and Cambricon make pretty good AI chips, but US chip makers like Nvidia and AMD make much better ones. Better chips are what allowed US AI to build a lead in the 2010s. But since US chip makers sold chips to China too, China was able to hang not far behind.
There has never been a more exciting battle.
Then around 2018, the US government realized, given the stakes of the AI race, it should probably stop helping China.
AI technology is advancing very quickly and is fast becoming militarily and strategically extremely significant.
Chris McGuire worked on AI chip policy under both presidents, Trump and Biden.
The only area where we have a big advantage over China is in hardware. So if we want to be able to slow the Chinese down, this is our only way of doing it.
In 2020, Trump blocked Chinese chip makers from using US-made tools to make their chips. Then in 2022, Joe Biden made it illegal for US chip makers to sell their best chips to China. With each new chip, US AI surged ahead, while Chinese AI was stuck using older US chips or inferior Chinese-made chips.
This was like a boiling the frog effect. The amount that it's going to keep China back is going to increase every year that they're in effect.
And now starts to pull away.
These restrictions, called export controls, changed the game. But they cost US chip makers a lot of potential business, especially for the best chip maker, Nvidia. Just 15 years ago, Nvidia was designing chips for video games, when researchers discovered Nvidia chips were also great for powering AI models. The discovery gave Nvidia a head start on the AI boom. By 2023, it made more than 90% of AI data center chips.
The world wants to run on NVIDIA chips, and that's because it's so much easier to use NVIDIA than to use anything else.
Gregory Allen studies AI policy.
The best chips that are being made by Chinese manufacturing facilities are around 5 years behind that of NVIDIA. And in fact, Chinese military documents, when AI is involved, they're asking for NVIDIA chips.
Before Biden's restrictions, 22% of Nvidia's revenue came from selling chips to China. But after, just 13% did. These restrictions were hurting business, so Nvidia found a genius way around them. This story is moving pretty fast. It took a lot of extra reporting. It took a lot of extra research going all over the internet. And that often leads to many more spam texts and emails, and it gets really annoying. Thankfully, I protect myself through my subscription to Incogni, and I'm thrilled to have Incogni sponsor this episode. So there are hundreds of these data brokers out there. They take the personal information you give out on the internet, your logins, your addresses, your passwords, even your social security number, and they sell it to marketers. That's how you get those spam texts and emails. But it's also how your information can fall into the hands of criminals. Now, we have the right to take that data back, but it would take forever to do it ourselves. That's when Incogni steps in. They'll do it for you, and it takes 3 easy steps. Step 1, you create an account, tell Incogni whose personal data you want them to remove. Step 2 is you grant Incogni the right to work on your behalf. Incogni will go out and contact those data brokers. Step 3, you sit back and relax and watch Incogni do the work for you. It'll send you a progress report all along the way. So here's the deal. Right now, use the code SearchParty at the link below, and you're going to get 60% off Incogni's annual plan. Now, I've been using Incogni now for a few years. I love it. If you want to keep your personal data safe on the internet while supporting SearchParty in the meantime, Incogni's a great way to do it. So thanks again to Incogni for supporting our work. Now I'll get you back to the story. Each AI chip is judged by its power and its interconnect speed. That's how fast it can talk to other chips. In 2022, Biden banned selling any chip above these limits, which included Nvidia's best. So Nvidia took its H100 chip and degraded it to create a new version that fell under the limits, the H800. Chinese AI companies bought as many as they could. Then when Biden tightened the restrictions, Nvidia designed another new chip, the H20. It wasn't powerful, but it was very fast, which made it ideal for serving AI models to millions of users. Chinese AI companies again bought as many as they could and smuggled in some chips. By 2025, largely thanks to Nvidia chips, they were showing incredible progress.
Financial markets have been reacting to DeepSeek. DeepSeek, a company with a collection of Chinese AI models
that claims to beat out even OpenAI.
And it used Nvidia H800s.
They're catching up quickly. We cannot blink at all.
So the Chinese market is scooping up these chips as fast as they can. They're saying whatever the best Nvidia chips we're allowed to buy, that's what we want.
So in April 2025, the US, this time under Trump again, blocked the H20. But instead of making a new chip, Nvidia CEO went to Trump with a new argument, and Trump agreed with him.
President Trump really understands and really wants, and it's his policy, to have America win the AI race.
The Trump administration and Nvidia are making 2 main arguments for why it should sell chips to China. And the first one is that it'll make a lot of money.
And we have an opportunity to go capture some of that $50 billion. It's great for exports. It's great for our treasury.
That's true. Nvidia's stock climbed to a new record when Trump reversed the ban. And Trump's policy that the US will take 15% of chip sales could generate billions of dollars for the government. But the second argument is a little more counterintuitive.
You want to sell the Chinese enough that their developers get addicted to the American technology stack.
He means that selling H20s to China is a trap. Let me show you. If the Nvidia H20 is the best chip available, then Chinese AI companies will choose to buy it over a Chinese-made chip. If no one buys China's chips, Chinese chip makers will struggle to make better ones. Then if the US strings China along with better chips, eventually Chinese AI will have no choice but to continue using US chips. They'll be addicted to them. Then as US AI advances, it can keep China a few steps behind until the US wins the AI race. Honestly, seems like a solid plan.
This is not completely insane. We will help Chinese AI companies, but we will hurt Chinese semiconductor companies. That's the thesis.
But many experts say there's just one problem with that. Trump's plan assumes that the Chinese government will let its chip makers fall behind. And, well,
there's no chance that's going to happen.
The Chinese government is pumping billions of dollars into its chip makers, mandating that its AI companies use 50% Chinese-made chips, and its leader, Xi Jinping, is demanding it eventually reach self-sufficiency in AI. All of that means
they're going to get there eventually. The chips won't be as good as Nvidia's, but they'll go from basically unusable to at least workable. And once they cross that threshold, they're just going to get off of Nvidia. They just are.
That's the flaw in Trump's plan. He's not getting China addicted to US chips. He's letting China use Nvidia chips to stay in the race until its own chip makers can catch up. The H20 is a bridge to a future without US chips. And once China gets there, many experts believe it can pull close or even with the US.
This is the playbook. We should not help them execute their playbook. It's just not in America's national security interest.
And it's there that they can pass. Look at the courage as they both refuse to back off.
Yet Trump is considering letting Nvidia sell an even better chip to China.
The Blackwell, do you know what the Blackwell is? The Blackwell is super duper advanced.
The Blackwell, or B30, is 12 times more powerful and 11 times faster than the H20. They would let China easily catch the US and likely surpass it.
I think that's absolutely possible.
Everything else, like I said before, is not in our favor, and the Chinese might be able to leapfrog us.
Out of the slipstream, and he's taking the lead. An incredible achievement.
Right now, Trump and China are negotiating a trade deal, and it looks like China is angling to get those Blackwell chips. China's reportedly banning its AI companies from buying Nvidia chips and calling its own chips comparable to the H20. This could be the Chinese government pressuring its AI companies to use Chinese-made chips, or it could be a way to pressure Nvidia to pressure the Trump administration into letting Nvidia sell Blackwells to China. If Trump gives in, expect Chinese AI to get really good really fast.
If we start to see models that are as good that are released around the same time as frontier US models or better, that would show they squandered our compute advantage.
It's a crucial moment in the AI race. What the US decides to do right now could determine how close it is, and maybe who wins it. All right, thanks for watching Search Party. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's your chance to. If you're new here, we cover geopolitics and sports. So in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a sports episode. Since it's October, that's gonna be baseball. It's a story I've wanted to do for a super long time. There's this amazing international element. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. So we'll see you then. Thanks.